So, you're starting a home staging business and you have a lot of questions, and I want to answer some of the common questions that come up. And one is, how much money do I need to get started? Well, it depends on what your business model will be, and that will be the next question is, what business model should I go into? Hey friends, welcome to Home Staging Business. My name is Joke, and if we haven't met, well, I'm just a girl. I am an award-winning home stager based in the Seattle area, and I started my business Genesis Home Staging in 2018 after being an agent for 11 years. In the Seattle area, I was a licensed agent and I was a senior agent at Redfin before I decided to launch my business. And while I was at Redfin, I was part of the client education initiative, and I used to host home buying classes, and I used to help with writing the content for the class. It was a very, very independent thing. They let you just do your own thing. So I really enjoyed the part where I wrote out all the details and content of the classes, and then I taught the classes to aspiring home buyers to kind of guide them and give them a roadmap of how to buy a home. What do they need to do? Even if they want to buy a home, like 5 years down the line, I can start helping them prep and get ready for when they get to that point. So enough about real estate. We want to talk more about home staging, and home staging is a fairly new business. The industry is pretty much 50 years old, just about as old as I am. I'm just telling my age right now. So if anybody's curious about the history behind home staging, it was actually started by Bob Schwartz, and she started the accredited staging professional. I took that course many years ago, even long before I decided to come into home staging. The industry has really evolved, and the one thing that is driving me and my mission is to help any aspiring home stagers to avoid all the mistakes that I made when I got started. And when I decided to launch, it felt like I had opened up a big giant box of jigsaw puzzles. I was very excited to start building something new. But what I found was that there were a lot of missing pieces, and I didn't know where to start. I felt stuck. I literally had to go and start building the pieces myself. Imagine missing jigsaw puzzle in a whole picture. You have to go and find the wood, paint it, cut out the pieces, make sure that it fits, kind of thing. And in the middle of doing that, I started to document what I was doing. And as my business grew and I started to hire people, that became the blueprint I used to train my people to learn how we do stuff at Genesis. And that has also evolved into me offering that in part as mentorship and business consulting to help other people start and build their own business. So you're starting a home staging business and you have a lot of questions, and I want to answer some of the common questions that come up. And one is, how much money do I need to get started? Well, it depends on what your business model will be, and that will be the next question is, what business model should I go into? One, I would say, as far as how much it costs, it depends on your business model, because you can start with as little as nothing, like zero, and you can start with 2,500. You can start with 1,000. You can just depends and what resources are available to you. My advice typically is, of course, when you're starting something new, is to start with what you have and as little as you can in expenses, because there's startup costs, like you're registering your business name. I will talk about in a future episode what kind of business should you register. Should it be a sole proprietorship? Should it be an LLC? We'll get into that future episodes. So let's get into the business models that will help you now determine how much you need. Okay, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, because you have options, and think about what you can do right now that is already available to you. One is your talent, and then two is, what do you need to do without spending any money? that you have a ready market to serve. And there are so many resources and ways to find these people that want to work with you and pay for your service. And when you start thinking about, oh, but I am new and nobody's going to hire me, we'll talk about how to build your portfolio in the future. So right now, back to the business models. Let's start with the one that's going to require more capital. That is the vacant homestaging model. Okay. And that is what I am doing right now. And what that is you carry and stock inventory, the furniture, decor, artwork, all the things that you're going to be using to stage other people's houses. And you will need a place to store them. So you will need to have that monthly bill of warehouse or storage unit or wherever you store it. I started storing stuff in my garage and in my guest room. Then eventually we moved out and started to grow into our own business space. Okay. So the factor, how much money you need to buy inventory, you need a place to store them. So the money for the inventory, you need money for your monthly rent. And so therefore you need to decide and make sure that you can generate that much in revenue every month. And we can talk about how to determine your pricing and how many projects you need to do to make that much money in the future. So that is number one, vacant homestaging. And I will advise highly, do not run out to go buy stuff until you start to get the work, because you also have an option to rent. I started out by renting, but I quickly realized that I was very restricted to what they have. It's funny I say that because some people argue that, oh, if you can rent, then you have more options. But if you carry your own stuff, it's limited. For me, I find that the opposite is true because I very, very carefully curated my inventory to make sure that they are versatile, things that can transfer from one house to another, which is totally another topic entirely. I could go on. And as you can see, there's so much that you can learn based on somebody else's, but I'll take them one by one. And so that vacant staging is the most expensive, okay? And everybody is excited about shopping because I work with mentees all the time or people trying to start their own business. And when I ask somebody, what is making you want to go into home staging? They were like, well, I like shopping. Well, good news is you will get to do a lot of shopping, but you have to be very careful because you also could get in trouble because you're not shopping just for fun and it needs to make business sense. So we're talking about business intelligence and how to make sure that you're profitable. Okay, so occupied staging. Occupied means that they have the furniture. Most of the time, most homeowners don't have nearly enough decor or accessories. It's bare bones. And so that's where you may need to invest in and bring decor, artwork, and all the little things to complement what the existing owners have. And in doing that, again, you will need a place to store them. You can start in your house if you have a spare room or whatever. Okay, then there is occupied consultation. This is my favorite for somebody who is just starting out because what you're doing at this point is you're exchanging your time and expertise for money. No inventory required, no investment required. And so how does this work? Is that you go to the house that they want to stage, you meet with the client and tell them how to. There are two ways you can do it. You can be hands-on, that I'm helping them actually using what they have. And it's so fun because I get on a treasure hunt all around the house, go to the garage, or I bring a pillow from one room and I put it in a different house. You know, you just move things around that way in a way that they could never have imagined it because, hey, you are bringing the expert eyes, right? So you can do that and then you charge them per hour. And you walk away, you are not bringing any inventory, you don't have to come back and grab the stuff. So that for me is my favorite, the lowest hanging fruit that requires not much from you but your expertise and time. And for this, I charge $350 an hour. I can either just come and tell them, walk and talk, tell them what to do. And there are people who will tell you like, oh, and then you write a report afterwards. I'm not writing no report. They take the notes because there are different ways to do it. I give them the information, walk and talk, show them what to do, how to do it. They take notes. I tell them, remove this, take this, buy this, and I can send them maybe a link or two. And I have like prescribed links that very, very versatile, simple. Maybe they're looking for like white duvet or whatever. On Amazon, I already have that. I can just send the link to them. You can buy this for the bed or buy this pillow or whatever. And they do the hands-on work. Okay, so now if they want me to come back and do the hands-on work after the consultation, if they need hands-on work and they need more supplements from me, and so I will send them a proposal. But before you go for the consultation, get paid, because that is a service that I provide. I get paid, I'm done. Even if you don't use my services for the hands-on, I've already been paid for my time. And so I make sure that I get paid before I even go at all. And we can talk about how that works, because you have to have a way to collect payment ahead of time. In the interest of time, I can't go into all this stuff because I want to stay on topic of how much do you need in capital and investment and the business models. So we talk about occupied, hands-on, consultation only, supplements or no supplements, and all of that. So now let's talk about, you want to shop, okay? You enjoy shopping. When I do occupied, there are things that I don't supply because people live there. That's why it's called occupied. People are going to be living in the house while it is staged, while it's on the market. So for that reason, I never supply pillows, porous things like upholstery, rugs, things that can get used and stained and yucky that you don't want to take back to your warehouse or put in somebody else's house, or that will require cleaning. What you can do and what I do is, instead of supplying, I can buy it on their behalf. So that's where you get to shop with other people's money. I love it. So you can fulfill all your shopping desire without spending your own money. And shopping for decor and for furnishing and stuff is also a different business model in itself, where you offer that service. Again, because you have the expert eyes and not everyone knows how to do those things. So you can offer your time to go shopping for them. For me, I don't like to shop with them, but I can shop for them and send the stuff to them or send them links. You can charge for the time you spend sourcing those things for them. Okay, so those are the business models and then there is holiday decorating whenever the holiday is around the corner. And this is something that you need to start campaigning long before the time comes. And then there is interior decorating or design, I like to call it interior styling or decorating, because interior design is a little more involved and it is more of remodeling and those kinds of things, unless you are an interior designer or you just have the expertise or the knowledge. Nothing says that you have to be like formally educated in interior design, no. But if you have the expertise and you're feeling confident, you can totally do it. But just knowing that it's very different from interior styling and decorating. So those are the business models that will help you determine how much capital you need. And like I said, start with nothing, the ones that require the least amount of money or no money at all, okay? And of course, you're going to need to register your business. You're going to need to set up a website, and none of this needs to break the bank. Those are all the business models that are available to you that will help you until you have stability in your income. I don't recommend going into a business model that requires monthly overhead expense. And we can in future episode cover how to determine how much money you want to make, first of all, because you can determine that, how much profit you want to make from your business, and therefore how many jobs do you need to do to make that money, and how do you charge for that to make sure that you're putting away that profit after all expense paid. And for me, the business model to start with is the one that not only does not require a little capital, but it also can start making you money immediately. If you were be like, okay, I'm starting today, Will you be able to make money from that and it costs you no money? And once you start generating some income, then you can start adding more services. They say the riches are in the niches. My own niche, I would say, is vacant staging. But in the business of home staging that we're in, it is also a cyclical and seasonal business. So it is important to have multiple income streams. You can hone in and specialize in one that you do round the year, and all the other ones can supplement in slow season. The low hanging fruit that requires the least amount of money, the one that's going to start making money immediately, the resources available to you, and no overhead expense. That is where to start. And it is zero capital except for the money that you spend on startup. What are the main things that you need to spend money on? Because a lot of people go after the shiny objects of buying the inventory, creating the logo, the website, which is all part of starting up. And we're in a business of show and tell. So it is definitely important for you to have a website and a logo, but I would not spend too much time or too much resources on those things to start, because it's going to evolve. I wish I could show you my website that I started with 6 years ago. You're going to wake up one morning and completely hate it and you want to overhaul it. So I would say don't spend too much time or money building a website, creating a logo, because it's going to change. More on the things that will actually make a difference in your bottom line. Okay, so this is it for today. If you have any questions about starting up, anything home staging at all, leave a comment. And hey, I'm your sister in this journey, and I want to make sure that all the mistakes that I made, you don't have to make them, because I am here to hand over the blueprint of what made me 6 figures in my first year, so you can use it in your own business as well. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll be looking at the comments, and based on that, I will be thinking about future topics that you guys want to hear about. Hey, and I've created a home stager startup guide that will walk you through all the details of how to start your business, from selecting your business name, registering your business, creating a business plan, what kind of registration should you do, LLC, sole proprietorship, and how to raise capital for your business, and all the resources that you need, all the things that helped me. I have documented them so you don't have to start from the scratch. Go to businessofhomestaging.com to download your free guide today. It's a wrap. Thank you for watching, and keep doing all the things until next time.